We're now going to look at the life cycle of an insect and the stages it goes between the egg and the adult. Mike, what have you got here?
Well, I thought I'd bring something a little bit different. Here we've got some stages of the flower beetle, all right? Now, adult flower beetles will lay their eggs in the ground, and those tiny eggs will hatch into tiny little grubs. Those grubs will start to feed in the soil on vegetable matter, roots, all sorts of things, and they start to grow. So this is one, several months old now, and you'll see it's quite a fat little grub. Lots of food stored in there, a pair of jaws at this end, and the 3 pairs of legs already towards the head end. As it grows, it gets bigger, and at some point it will then metamorphose into the next stage, which is the pupa or chrysalis. This is its pupa of the same beetle. Now you can see it doesn't move, and it's in this sort of phase for maybe a month or two. And during this time it's quite vulnerable because it's just sitting in the soil, it can't defend itself, it can't move. So what it does is it makes itself a little cocoon like this out of the soil, all glued together. So it sits inside this cocoon. I've taken it out of its cocoon just to show you, but it would be protected by this hard shell while it's in the soil. And once all the sort of body parts have changed from the body parts of a grub into the pupa, it's going to hatch out into beetle. So all the sort of cells are reorganizing themselves now inside the pupa, and it will eventually emerge as an adult, fully grown from the soil. Now I've got an adult beetle here to show you. This is an adult flower beetle. They can fly, so I've got to be quite careful. And this is the adult here. So this is the flower beetle, and again you can see the head, the thorax and the abdomen. These are the wing cases, the hard bit.
So we have the stages of the life cycle is the egg.
The egg.
Which changes into, and in this beetle it's called a grub.
We call beetle larvae grubs.
Okay.
A butterfly larva is a caterpillar.
Okay, so we've got the egg, the larva.
Yep.
And then
the pupa or chrysalis.
Yep.
And then the adult beetle itself. So we've looked at the metamorphosis of a beetle, the flower beetle, and we've seen how the grub can spend many months underground before it changes into a pupa and then into an adult. The British stag beetle is slightly different. It does the same type of changes from egg to grub or larva to pupa and then to adult, but it can stay in the grub stage for up to 7 years. So it's growing and growing, eating dead trees, and then after about 7 years it will change into a pupa and then emerge as a large adult. And it will only live several months, having spent several years as a larva. Now beyond that, there are insects called cicadas, which if you ever go on holiday to the south of Europe, you will hear in the trees because they spend all the daylight hours going calling like this. They're really, really noisy. Now they too have an egg. They have a larva that lives underground, and then they emerge into the adult with wings, and they climb up in the trees and they can fly. But there are 2 species, and these are called periodical cicadas, and that will become obvious why in a minute, that they can spend much longer periods, and they do spend much longer periods underground as a larva. One species spends 13 years as a grub living underground feeding. Another species spends 17 years as a grub living underground feeding. And somehow they coordinate, synchronize their emergence to the same day after that huge length of time. And you'll go one day and you'll see thousands of these cicadas emerging from the ground, crawling up the trees, hardening the wings, ready to fly. And the noise will be deafening. But how they do it after the length of time to all change on the same day, don't know.
And is it similar with mayflies?
Mayflies, and they're at the other extreme. The mayfly, the larva lives in the water, usually a stream or a pond. It may spend 1 or perhaps 2 years growing as a larva. At the end of that time, it comes to the surface of the water, the skin splits and it changes. There's no pupa. It goes from a larva to the adult. The skin splits and the mayfly emerges from that larva, sits on the surface and then flies off. 2 years as a larva, 12 hours as an adult.
Find inspiring lessons, ideas and planning at developingexperts.com.